So since we were kind of talking about Gotham as Hades, the location, we might also talk about mythology in Batman. Like, how do we, do we view it as mythology or more regular storytelling? Like, what makes it different? What mythological characters or beings are involved? Like with the gargoyles as well. Yeah. Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
It's a little bit of a mix in between, in my opinion, because there are a whole lot of elements of mythology, but there are a whole lot of a regular storytelling that's like mixed, mixed together. So, but so kind of like seeing seeing Gotham as like a Hades landscape. But Batman himself is also a little bit of Hades, but his alter ego as Bruce Wayne, it kind of shows a little bit of the light that Gotham that Gotham doesn't have.
Yeah, and he is in Justice League War. He is compared to Hades. I want to say it's Diane. I think Wonder Woman is making the comparison between the various Greek pantheon gods and Justice League, and she compares him to Hades. And also in Justice League Dark, the Shades, they say are really drawn to him. They say he's evaded them like way too many times, so that might associate with him at Hades as well.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison, great comic book author, actually goes into how, like, culturally we think of superheroes in very much the same way as the Greeks thought of the gods, as these like legendary figures, that like how and like this idea of there are these core characters that can apply to so many different legends, and there's always a through line. Like, Batman will always be this dark protector, and that is his core identity, no matter what story you're talking about, what time era he's in. He will always be the dark protector that the darkness to meet the darkness.
Right. And like the Christian Bale, the first one, it's like he's rising at the end when they get the bat signal. It's like we have a dark protector, and then the second one, he fights the Joker, and again it's the save us Batman. But Harvey Dent's also like, we don't need Batman, we just need law.
Right.
And then he's proven wrong when the Joker corrupts him, and you see that, and Batman's starting to like doubt. Kind of in the second one, and the third one he falls, as most heroes do in their stories. They fall, and then they get back up and keep on swinging or fighting the evil.
Yeah, and a couple of things that you guys were saying. So you were talking about the way the stories are told, and that he has this core archetype of his character, and we can put him in like Gotham by Gaslight. We can put him in the Flashpoint Parrot. Well, he's Thomas Wayne there, but still, that's a version of him. We see different, or like Batman Ninja, we see kind of different versions of him in different stories, but you can take that character, and as long as it keeps the core attributes, you can put it in just about any story and recognize it as Batman. To me, that's part of the mythology.
Yeah.
So.
He's almost like, also like, he's just an urban legend in the first movie, and then the second one people know, and they're kind of like trying to be more sneaky, but Joker's just like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I think you make a good point, too, like where you mentioned the Flashpoint paradox, where it's Thomas Wayne that's Batman, and I think that gets to another point of, like, how core the identity of Batman is that you can even supplement different people. It doesn't just have to be Bruce Wayne himself, and still the character remains mostly the same.
And it's interesting because Thomas Wayne is very, like, he will kill people, he'll use guns to kill people, he's very driven by vengeance, and so it shows you that whereas the Dark Protector as core archetype of Batman works in any storyline, the idea of how much he works for justice or for vengeance, that's a little bit more malleable between stories.
That also applies to Batman Beyond, with Terry McGinnis taking up the mantle of Batman.
Yes, it does.
Because in what movie was it where the Joker comes back? Joker Returns?
Maybe.
But anyway, the movie where Batman Beyond, the Joker returns.
Yes. Yes, that's
Dark
the
Knight.
name of it.
Dark Knight Returns is kind of at the beginning of Batman Beyond, and it's Joker's in Arkham, but he kind of reawakens and comes back to himself because Batman is reawakening. He's seeing it on the news clips.
I'm not sure if it's that one, but like whenever near the end, during the climactic fight between Terry, Batman, and the Joker, he's saying Terry is taunting him and laughing about it, and Joker's like, "Stop laughing! Batman never laughs." And Terry responds with, "What, you talking about the old man? I'm not him. He wouldn't know a good joke if it bit him in the cape."
Interesting. So that his penchant for humor. Yeah, and there's even a little bit of humor in Batman and Harley Quinn. He's usually the straight man in those jokes, but there's still, he has more humor, I think, than he normally would. So that may not necessarily be a core archetype. That's interesting. Although we do tend to think of him as humorless.
Yeah.
Right? He is, even in Batman and Harley Quinn, he's the straight man in those jokes. Yeah.